All right then. So now in this video, what we are going to do is we're going to create a calculator app with a simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, the division, and along with delete and clear options. All right. So this is the nice UI which we are talking about. Now, when I click this any number, it is going to keep on append those number in that input. And now if I click minus, and I can keep on add those value, and that is going to give me the result instantly over here. For instance, if I say 5 plus 5 is equals to 10 and minus 6, it's going to be 4. Again, I can do some multiplications as well as like 6, 24, and I can simply clear all those things directly over there. And if I type 6, 5, and if I need to delete it, I can click delete option that will delete the value in the reverse order. So all these things are going to be built completely by using plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this is the project that we are going to work right now. So without wasting your time, let's get started. So I'm going to pull this project right away straight over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is this is the Tic Tac Toe application which we created in the previous video, and I'm going to create one more new project folder over here called calculator. Enter. Let's open that particular project in the Visual Studio Code, new terminal, and let me bring it here, and let's say code space dot, open it and bring this guy in the left side. Perfect. Now let's create a new project folder over here called public. Let's say public, and inside the public I'm going to create a new folder called assets, and inside right click the public and create a new file called index.html. So let me make it a little bit bigger so we can see it clearly. And inside the assets, let's create a new folder called CSS, and inside the assets, new folder called JavaScript, and inside the styles CSS, styles.css, new file, styles.css, and inside the JavaScript, new file called main.javascript. Perfect. And let's get into the index.html and bring the boilerplate code and delete this document title as calculator, change it, and then link your styles.css dot slash assets css styles.css, and all the way at the bottom over here bring the script and change this source is equals to dot slash assets javascript main dot javascript files. Perfect. So these are all the things. All right. So now let's destructure all these things. Okay, let's destructure all these things. You can see this is going to be a complete layout. Okay, so let's bring a calculator. So let me destructure over here. What we can do is basically this is going to be a complete, what is happening? Okay, I don't know why I can't bring my screen brush. All right, so never mind, my screen brush tool is not working properly. Okay, this is the one which I'm trying to do, which is not working. All right, I don't know why it is not working. Okay, so let's leave it, let's worry about that later. Okay, so here this is going to be the entire division, the entire outer structure, that is going to be entire division called calculator. Wait a minute, something is happening right now in my PC. I'm not sure what it is. All right, so let's say this is going to be our complete division, right? This is going to be our complete division, and inside this we are going to have this button groups, and these are all going to be the individual buttons, right? So let's go ahead and create that. So we already created ourselves the outer division, then we need to bring this inner input section. So that's what we need to bring right over here. So let's say dot display, and which is going to be an input, which is going to be text, and let's say id as a display, and which is going to be a read only input. Perfect, because we are not allowing the user to type it over here. User needs to click the numbers just like in the calculators. Okay, so then right after here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this buttons groups. So this is going to be buttons, and inside here I'm going to create a button which is going to be a type of button itself, button, and it's going to have a class called btn. All right. Okay, so what are the buttons that we need to bring? So basically we need to bring, first what we need to do, we need to bring the clear, then delete, slash, star. So keep on add all these buttons in this exact same order. In this case, to save your time, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste all those things over here. So you can't do it, you just need to pause the video and create all these buttons one after another. Don't worry about these functions, because these functions we haven't created it yet, but we will create it for our later purpose. Okay, the clear display, delete the last, and append to display all these strings, values, and everything. Save the change. All right, perfect. So now let's run this function. Let's run this index.html. So this is how it should look right now. Perfect. All right. So now let's get into the styles.css now. Okay. So as of now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the excess margins. So let's say star, margin 0, padding 0, box sizing, border box. Save the changes. Then what we need to do, we need to bring the body tag, open it, display, of course it's going to be flex, justify content, which is going to be center, and align items, which is going to be center, and height, which is going to be 100 viewport height, width, of course it's going to be 100 viewport width, and background color, which is going to be hash f5 f5 f5. Okay, save those changes and it will come straight away in the center. Perfect. And I think I need to import the font as well, as just like in the previous video. Open Control Shift P or Command Shift P, search for Google Fonts, insert CSS at import, and import this Roboto font. That looks more professional. Perfect. Then right after here, we need to write the styles for this calculator. Copy this. Let's say dot calculator, open it, and the background color, of course, which is going to be the white color, triple F. Then I'm going to say border radius, which is going to be the 8 pixels, something like this. Then I'm going to increase the padding as 20 pixels. So save it. Now you should be able to see the white color over here. Then I'm going to bring some box shadow. So 0 and 0 0 and RGBA like 0 0 0 1, something like this. Okay, so let's say 0.9 90 percentage of the black color. So currently you can't see nothing over here, right? Let me keep it as 100 percentage of black color. I can't see anything. So this is basically going from, if I increase this to 5 pixels, see what's happening from left to right actions, it's moving 5 pixels. And let me change this to 0 now, 0 pixels, and let me change this to 5 pixels. See what's happening from top to bottom, it's moving. If I'm moving both of these 5 pixels, see what's happening. See, from top to bottom and left to right, it's moved. So this is how you can move your box shadow. If you're going for negative, so that will be moving on the negative directions. Perfect. Now I understand what is this purpose, and this, what is the purpose of this? This is the blur effect of the color, whatever you're using. Let's say 10 pixels. See, this is what happens. The color is too strong is because of this 100% of the black color. I can change this to 0.1, which means the 10% of the black color. So this is how. So now it looks more materialistic. Okay, perfect. So this is what we need. And then I need to fix the width. Width should be 300 pixels always. So save it, not more than that. Okay, perfect. And then now I'm going to write the styles for this display, which is inside the calculator. So dot display, oops, not read only, display. Copy this, paste it, open it, and let's say margin bottom, which is going to be 20 pixels. And now what we can do is we need to target the ID. This is the display class, and we need to target the display ID, which is our input tag. So let's go ahead and target that hash display, which is going to be our input tag, right? So let me make it, sorry, let me move it a little bit to the top. And here let's say width is going to be the 100% of the parent, so that will take the 100% width, and inside that I'm gonna say 10 pixels of padding. Perfect, something like that. Then I'm gonna say font size. So font size, of course, it's going to be 24 pixels, not more than that. Then I don't need that border anymore. Save it, we don't see that border. Then I'm gonna bring the border bottom, which is going to be 2 pixels solid hash 3 F5 1 P5. Save it. So you should see that border bottom. Perfect. Then I don't need the outline, so let's say none. Then text align, everything should be on the right side, in the right side. Perfect. Then let's target these buttons. Copy this, let's say dot buttons, open it. Let's change this to grid. Okay, before jumping into the buttons, let's write the styles for the button itself, so you can see how exactly it's going to be looks like. So dot button background, which is going to be hash 3FB5, the same color which we used for the border, and color, of course, which is going to be triple F, which is going to be the white color. And of course we don't need any border, let's change it to none. Then of course we need to change the border radius as well as to 4 pixels, because we don't need the sharp edges. It looks like that. Then we need to bring the padding, which is going to be 15 pixels. Then we need to bring the font size, which is going to be the 18 pixels. Then the transition, I'm going to change this background property to 0.3 seconds. Save it. So let's change this to background color, because we can literally change it, the entire background. It should be background color. So now it will be applied properly. All right, and at the end we need to bring the cursor as the pointer. Save it. And look at that, it is not looking quite good, so we need to adjust the grid templates over here. So grid template should be column. So in a single row, I'm gonna repeat the same thing for the entire stuff. In a single row, keep 4 columns and keep it as a 1 frame. Save it. So this is how it should looks like, and it is not aligned properly. Let's bring the gap in between, let's change it to 10 pixels. Now you should able to see some nice calculator over here. Okay, perfect. So now let's go ahead and bring the button hover effect. So btn colon hover, and the background color should be hash 303F9F. So now you should able to see some color changes whenever you're hovering this button. Not huge, but you should able to see some small changes. So this is how the UI is going to looks like. Perfect. A simple and minimalistic design, which is required to understand how the calculator application is being built. All right, so and the next video, what we are going to do is we are going to write the JavaScript actions. So that is what we are going to do in the next video.